B, proclamation honoring retired Chief Thomas Q. Weitzel. If I could, can I have the other presidents in the room please join me at the podium? Police Chief Thomas Q. Weitzel. Whereas Thomas Weitzel joined the Riverside Police Department as a patrol officer in 1984, bringing police experience with him after serving 2 years with the Brookfield Zoo Police Department. And whereas Thomas Weitzel was promoted to officer in charge in 1996, to sergeant in 1997, to detective sergeant in 1999, to lieutenant and deputy chief in 2003, and to chief of police in 2008. And whereas Thomas Weitzel has provided guidance on various policing matters as a guest lecturer, speaker, and has written articles for the FBI Supervisors Command Conference, and South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy Executive Leadership Institute, U.S. Department of Justice, the Illinois Law Executive Forum, and Police Forum. And whereas Thomas Weitzel has received numerous awards and commendations, including the DuPont Kevlar Survivors Club Award in 1987, Officer of the Year in 1996, the Police Valor Award in 1997, the Police Medal of Honor in 1998, and the Cook County Sheriff's Law Enforcement Award of Merit in 2006, and was named Distinguished Public Servant in 2005 by Riverside Township J.C.'s and Public Officials of the Year in 2006 by the Gazette newspaper, and was presented a Leadership Award by the International Association of Chief of Police in 2005. Whereas Thomas Weitzel has graduated and participated in the FBI National Academy, FBI Executive Management School, Northwestern School of Police and Command, and the FBI Midwest Law Enforcement Executive Development Program. And whereas Thomas Weitzel served as Vice President of the Midwest Homicide Investigators Association, President of the West Suburban Detective Association, Police Chief Steering Committee Chair, Coordinating Council Board Member, President of the West Suburban Chief of Police, the Illinois Association of Chief of Police, and NIPAS, and as the leader of Fight Crime Invest in Kids, Illinois, MAD, and as an Illinois and International Association of Chief of Police Legislative Committee and Board Member, and a member of the Juvenile Justice Commission. And whereas Thomas Weitzel is to be commended for his years of public service, the honor he has brought to the law enforcement profession, his dedication to the Village of Riverside, his leadership within the Riverside Police Department. Now, therefore, it is appropriate that I, Joseph Ballerine, Village President of the Village of Riverside, Illinois, on behalf of the entire Village of Riverside Board of Trustees, commend Thomas Weitzel for his 37 years of distinguished service to the citizens of this community, and present him with this retirement proclamation in gratitude for his loyal service to the Village of Riverside and the Riverside Police Department. Riverside is a better place thanks to the devoted service of Tom Weitzel, and we wish him well today and always. Thank you, Tom. Tom, your dedication to the officers of this community is only on par with your dedication to the residents, and for that we are very thankful. I've asked all the past presidents in the village that could come tonight, and they all jumped at the chance. President Gorman did call and said he was out of town, but he wishes you well. So, thank you, Tom.
Don't get much chance to talk anymore, so you know, when you get an offer like this, you better take it, huh? This is really a bittersweet moment for me personally and for the village. But it's also a wonderful moment, Tom, because you're entering on a terrific part of your life, which I hope you're going to enjoy very much. All of us who are here had something to do with your career. You sort of moved up the ranks during my particular administration, and it was an easy choice, let me say that, because you were prepared, and you have created a department here that we as a community not only should be thankful for, but we should be proud of. And, you know, I was thinking of all the things that they were just talking about that you've done here, you know. You can't even get all that on one side of a plaque. But one thing you can get on his plaque, and it probably should be there, I hope it's there, is the character of this man, what he has done, not only for himself, but for his family, for his community, for all of those who he has led here in Riverside, but also he has shared himself with other parts of our community in the suburbs and all of the various leadership positions he's taken. I personally am very honored to have been a part of your lifetime, and I hope you will come back to Riverside and be with us often. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And here, stick that in your pocket.
Joe DiNatale, and it was my pleasure as a young trustee, and I was young once. In 1984, we swore in young officer Weitzel. He looked like he was about 18 years old, and I can remember saying to the chief, who was chief at the time, and Don Doneski, and I said, you know, this young fella is going to take your job someday because I can tell he's all over this job. He exceeded my every expectation. He has been all over every part of the job. And as I go around in my own law practice, whenever I say that I'm from Riverside, different policemen in other towns will say, boy, you know, for a small department, you guys bring down a lot of drunk drivers, you get a lot of drug heads off the street, you have some kind of a formula. And our formula really is Formula Weitzel, and he has inculcated that in each and every one of the men and women that we have on the department. And to his credit, he has hired top-grade people. I've kind of kept an eye on it. I see them in court. It just makes me proud to know them, and I know that they're from him. I've never, in all the years I've known him, I've never had one bad report about Tom Weitzel. I've never had one person complain about him other than bad people. They don't particularly like the way he functions because he stops them from bothering our citizens, as it should be. So it's my honor to know him. It's everybody's honor to have known him as a chief, and everybody that he trained will make this town a better place. Tommy?
Chief, it's been 21 years since I left the presidency, so enough time has passed that I think I can answer this question accurately. It is this: is Riverside a better place for you having served in it? And the question, without any doubt, is it is. It's a better place. We are all indebted to you. This is our families, our lives, our property. Everything is invested in this town, and you treated that so seriously. It was your jurisdiction, and you did everything that you needed to do to keep it safe. So, Chief, thank you so much for everything you've done.
So I was fortunate enough to have my entire term as president with Chief Weitzel as chief of police. And if you look behind us here, you see Tom Weitzel. You see the kind of people that he has drawn into our department. But I think the thing that, Tom, that has impressed me the most is that even here at the later years of your career, you never stop learning. When we had the problems of the last couple of years, and the difficulties that we as a nation have encountered, Chief Weitzel did not step back. Chief Weitzel led the charge in terms of community policing and finding a better way for policing. And that's why you see the kind of dedication that his officers have for him. And for that, Chief, I am eternally grateful.
So, on behalf of the village, Chief Weitzel, we have a gift for you, but I would like to say a couple of words very quickly first, so that you don't have to stick around for my manager's report. Thank you on behalf of myself, on behalf of village staff. No one realizes the work and the effort and the sacrifices that you and your family, I see Meg back there, have made over the years. And I appreciate it, not only as your counterpart as a finance director and a department head, but also as your supervisor. And I will miss you, but I know this isn't the end for you. I think it's just the beginning of a new adventure, and I'm really excited for you. So.
Thank you.
You need to open it.
Oh. It's like Christmas. Oh, thank you.
Beautiful. I was going to give you this one, but I thought that one would be better.
He switched out. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a little something from the department. I'll read what it says. Chief of Police Thomas Q. Weitzel, in recognition and appreciation of 37 years of distinguished and dedicated service to the law enforcement profession. From 1984 to 2001, congratulations on your retirement. Presented 20th of May, 2021.
Wow.
Tom Sisolak, Riverside resident. It's my privilege to make this presentation representing the Riverside American Legion Post 488 and the Sons of American Legion Squadron, also 488. The citation reads, the American Legion, Department of Illinois, Certificate of Retirement, presented to Chief Thomas Weitzel, Riverside Police Department, in sincere and grateful appreciation for your outstanding and dedicated service. The American Legion Riverside Post 488 wishes to honor Chief Thomas Weitzel upon his retirement and his 37 years of law enforcement service to the citizens of Riverside, Illinois. This certificate of congratulations is presented to Chief Weitzel for his dedication and friendship, which will be long remembered by us all as we continue serving God and country. In witness whereof, this declaration of sincere gratitude is given under the hand of the American Legion Department Commander and duly attested by the Commander of the Riverside American Legion Post 488, We sincerely thank you. May God bless you and our great nation. Signed by Commander Joseph Bar Topinka, Post 488, and Illinois American Legion Department Commander Roy Weber. Thank you very much, Chief Weitzel.
It's not often that I get up and I don't have much to say, but I do have a few things to say. Well, I'm honored that the presidents came. I had no idea, and I was promoted to chief under Jack Whiteock. That's correct. So, and all these other presidents kept me on board when they didn't have to. And you probably wonder how a chief gets through that many village presidents. And I've been through several village managers over the years, too. So I would like to thank President Ballerine, President DiNatale, President Sells, President Whiteock, President Stack, for your support. I'd ask my wife to stand up next to me. Could you come up? She doesn't want to, but she's been next to me for 37 years. So this is my wife, Meg, and we were, and wow, we've been married since we were 22. So been a long time. And my middle son, Matt, is back there. He's a police officer for the city of Lockport. So is my son Peter here? He's a police officer in North Riverside. I have another son who's a police officer in North Riverside, and my brother is a police officer in Grundy County in Morris, Illinois. So, I just have to say how it's been, no chief can be successful without his officers. And this is a great, great department, great officers. And there's one thing that the president said that I don't want to take any credit for. It's the hiring of these men and women is because of the residents of Riverside. Make no mistake, the police and fire commissioners that are appointed by this board here, they're residents and they care. And they participate in the hiring, promotion, and even discipline when that's necessary. But the individuals that serve on the Police and Fire Commission are the ones that do the interviews, to create the list, and they deeply care about the officers on this department because, like I said, they're residents, they're patrolling their streets. So I give all the credit to the Police and Fire Commissioners I've worked with over the years. So I'd also like to thank my colleagues that are in the room. I see them, Lee Zeitlin, for sure. We worked way back at the zoo. And the staff, the senior staff, the current trustees, Kathy Haley, who has always helped me, my administrative assistant, Pamela McCall. I have to make mention because here's what happens when you're a chief, and especially for a long time like me, 13 years. You have a tendency to believe the stuff you're putting out yourself a little too much, and then the officers, sometimes they won't say things because you're the chief. Not true with my command staff. My lieutenant and Frank Lara and my deputy chief, Bill Gutchick, I always asked them to give me their opinions and tell me the truth. I didn't want to surround myself with yes men. But what Pamela did for me is she's a civilian employee, and she would always correct me if I'd come in front of future boards with documents or reports, and she would read them and proof them for me, and she would say, Chief, nobody's going to understand this. You're talking in police lingo. You have to be clear. You have to be concise. Nobody's going to read your 8-page memo. Condense it to 2. The trustees don't want to read a novel. And she would constantly set me straight and give me a perspective that's non-law enforcement, which a leader needs in my position. So I thank Pam for all those years. And the senior staff here is fantastic. The senior staff I've worked with over the years, it's no exaggeration that it's collaborative and it's a team. That's sometimes overused. But just today, for example, my last day, I spent 6.5 hours today in Zoom interviews with candidates that want to work for the Village of Riverside in an administrative capacity over at the Village Hall with all of my senior staff members. We all participated. because it was important and because we get better products when we work as a team. And literally, I spent 6 hours today with them setting the future for employees that will be coming to the Village Hall. I always feel like I'm going to miss somebody, so I'm going to try not to hit everybody, but I am going to talk a little bit to you about the village manager. Wow. So I was on the team that hired her as finance director. She did the interviews. I was on that team, and then she was elevated to a village manager. At the beginning, we had a little bit of a rough time, and then I would think in the first couple years, I probably met with the village manager every day. And I still meet with her every week. But I literally probably met with her every day when she was elevated from finance director to village manager. And, we had our discrepancies, and they were good because we always worked something out. Or we always were able to come to a resolution. But you wouldn't, as government officials, you wouldn't just want some rubber stamp. She always held me accountable. She supported me. She didn't always agree with me. And she told me that. And she was never afraid about walking in my office and saying, this is wrong, or I don't like this. And I would push back, and sometimes there were times that we didn't speak to each other for 3 days. But we would always end up working it out and working it in because, let's face it, my position and the position of the police department is high profile, and she knew that. She knew that decisions that I made and the actions that these officers did reflected on me. They reflected on the elected officials, on the village president. She was well aware of that. So her job was a checks and balance, was to keep me from a perspective of just wanting to move forward with just these law enforcement issues and maybe to look at things in a different light. And she's very good at that. She's very gentle at that, to tell you. She doesn't just come in the office and tell you you're wrong, but I get the message. But I've always respected her, and we've always worked collaboratively together. So that I'm immensely thankful for. I can't tell you how Manager Francis has helped me grow. And I want to once again thank the officers, everyone here. They're fantastic. But I would leave you with one thing. So when I got up this morning, my wife decorated the house like I was 10 years old for retirement. But the last thing she gave me, when I want to read you, you're going to find this to be kind of funny, but when I was kind of sad. And she wrote down a quote for me this morning as I walked out the door from Mr. Rogers. And my wife handed me a piece of paper, and it said, often, when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. And then I came to work this morning. So I just want to thank my wife for all the years and everyone else. So thank you very much, and thank you. And Jessica, thank you.
Yeah, I do want you to stay, as a matter of fact. Good evening, everyone. And members of the board, it's a pleasure to finally meet all of you, and thank you for letting me come up here for a second. My name is Jim Episcopo, and I'm currently serving as your interim director at the 911 Center, WC3 in North Riverside. Prior to that, I retired 2 years ago as chief of police in Brookfield, where I served 33 years. So not only do I appreciate what Chief Weitzel has contributed to our profession, but I'm also proud to call him my friend. We're all going to miss him a lot. And I thought I'd share a special moment today that happened on the radio. It's kind of traditional on somebody's last day. 1042 is the code for ending your tour of duty. So today was Tom's final 1042, and I want you to hear how it went. I hope you can hear it here with the mic, but I'll...
Riverside Unit 500. Riverside 500, go ahead. Riverside Unit 500 is 10-8, 10-42, and 10-6.
Riverside 500, it's been an honor and privilege that we bid farewell on your retirement from the Riverside Police Department. Your brothers and sisters in blue, thank you for your 37 years of service to law enforcement. Chief Weitzel, it's been a great honor working with you, and you will be greatly missed. All of us at Riverside PD and the surrounding communities will forever cherish the memories we have working with you. Thank you for the dedicated service to the citizens of Riverside, and congratulations on your retirement. It is with great pleasure that on May 20th, 2021, at 11:57 hours, Chief Tom Weitzel is 10-7 for the last time.
Thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure to work with everybody on the radio frequency, and stay safe. Congratulations, Chief. Congrats. Chief, on behalf of the entire Brookfield Zoo Police Department, we want to thank you for your service, your dedication, and commitment to law enforcement. You are the best of the best. Congratulations, and good luck, Tom.
Congratulations, Chief, from all of LTEC.
The Police Department.
Congrats, Chief, on behalf of McCook PD.
Thank you all. Congrats, Chief Weitzel, and good luck from the Brookfield Fire Department.
Congrats from CCTV.
Congrats from the North Riverside Police Department, Tom. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, of course, you PD. Good luck, Tom.
Thank you.
Congrats from WC3, Chief.
So I think on top of the send-off, not only the send-off, but all the people that chimed in is certainly a tribute to the respect that Chief Weitzel has by everybody, and we're going to miss him a lot. Thank you, sir.
I need help to get this back.
Can we make comments? Sure. Please. I have something to say.
Tom, if you could, Tom, Chief Weitzel, if you could just 1 second, please.
I wanted to just thank you for your leadership, your decades of leadership to the community. You've always risen to the challenge, especially in the past year, not only in dealing with COVID, but with other social issues that have arisen and many try to avoid. Under your leadership, Riverside Police Department committed to the NAACP's 10 shared principles. In your capacity as a very well-known and well-respected police executive in Illinois, you've also advocated for development of a national standardized use of force policy, a national certification process to strengthen police accountability, and creation of a national police misconduct database that agencies can use for hiring. You've never shied away from tough conversations with the community or with me, and you've been our rock, ensuring our safety for so many years. You are leaving Riverside in a better place, and I wish you nothing but the best in your retirement.
Thank you so much, Trustee Evans. I truly appreciate those kind words, and I do. And I can tell the board and the manager that Director Buckley is in good hands and the department's in good hands. You know we've been friends for years. It made no difference, police or fire, but you made a good selection, and we've been working together for the last months So I have full confidence that the agency going forward will be outstanding. So thank you.